Have you ever stopped to think about the impact certain people have on your life? Sometimes, without realizing it, we allow people around us who, instead of contributing, drain our energy, limit our growth, and undermine our peace. People who seem like friends but actually become obstacles in our path. Maybe you've felt this before but haven't been able to pinpoint exactly who's behind that negative effect. In today's video, I'm going to share the 10 types of people you should avoid at all costs. Each of them could be adding an invisible weight to your life. And the last type on this list might just be the one you least suspect, someone who could be much closer than you think. Knowing how to identify these profiles will transform the way you live and connect with others. Let's go. Number 1. The Unwavering Pessimist. You know that person who, no matter the situation, always finds a reason to say something won't work? For them, nothing is ever good enough, and every idea you share is met with a look of doubt or a pessimistic comment. You might be thrilled about a new project, opportunity, or even a recent achievement, but the moment you share it with them, your enthusiasm fades quickly. This person tends to downplay everything you accomplish, leaving an impression that nothing is truly worthwhile. Being around someone like this feels like carrying an invisible weight that constantly pulls you down, draining your excitement. You start to question yourself, to doubt your own potential, and without realizing it, you end up absorbing their negativity as if it were your own. Sometimes, the impact of a pessimist is so subtle that it takes time to realize how much it's affecting your confidence. How many times have you heard this person say, "It's just not going to work"? Or how often do they respond to your plans with a "but what if"? The unwavering pessimist doesn't just discredit your accomplishments. They also sap your drive to try, to take risks, and to believe in what you're capable of. Recognizing this type is the first step toward freeing yourself from this weight and moving forward with a sense of lightness and confidence. Number 2. The self-centered person. The self-centered person is someone who always places their own interest first, with little regard for how their actions might impact others. They're only interested in what you can do for them, and as long as you serve a purpose or offer something beneficial, they'll stick around. But when the time comes for support or understanding, they vanish, or worse, change the topic to bring the focus back to themselves. Over time, you start to notice the relationship becoming draining and one-sided. It's always about their wants, their problems, their successes and failures, while your own needs and feelings go unnoticed. This dynamic creates an imbalance, making you feel obligated to give more than you receive, ultimately sapping your energy and time. Have you experienced something like this? Think about the times when you needed help, only for this person to ignore it or steer the conversation back to themselves. With their relentless focus on personal gain, the self-centered person makes any relationship challenging and often exhausting. Recognizing this behavior is crucial to setting boundaries and preventing them from draining your time and peace. Do you know someone who is self-centered and only thinks of themselves? Let me know in the comments. It's always good to remember we're not alone in facing these challenges. Number 3. The gossip. You probably know or even have a friend who's a gossip. This is the person who can't keep anything to themselves and is always ready to share the latest news about everyone else's lives. At first, it might seem fun or harmless, but soon you realize the real risk that a gossip represents. Nothing is more damaging to trust than someone who spreads everything they hear, without a second thought about the consequences. And why is it so harmful to have someone like this as a friend? Because a gossip destroys the essential trust needed for any healthy relationship. They don't just expose things that should stay private. They create an atmosphere of insecurity. You never know just how far their words will go, and that can leave you constantly on edge. Worse yet, they might twist information or exaggerate details, leading to misunderstandings and unnecessary conflicts between you and others. Having a gossip around is like living with a ticking time bomb, ready to explode with every detail of your life. If they're talking about others to you, you can be sure they're also talking about you to others. Think about the small comments you've shared or the secrets you've confided. Those details may end up circulating where you least expect them, turning something personal into public knowledge and leaving you feeling exposed and vulnerable. Do you have a gossip in your life? Someone who seems friendly but whom deep down you realize isn't the most trustworthy? Share your experiences in the comments if you've been through something similar. And remember, Keeping your distance from a gossip might be the best choice to protect your peace, privacy, and sense of trust. Number 4. The manipulator. The manipulator is a master at making you question your own decisions, your worth, and even your sense of reality. They operate subtly, almost imperceptibly, and can leave you feeling confused about what you truly want or believe. A manipulator uses backhanded compliments, half-truths, and even friendly advice to steer your choices in a way that benefits them. Manipulators are highly strategic. They observe your reactions, learn your weaknesses, and use all of it to their advantage. This type of person doesn't openly attack but instead controls the surrounding environment indirectly. If you share an idea or plan, they might give an opinion that makes you doubt yourself, suggesting that maybe you're unsure of what you want or are too naive. They play with this doubt until eventually you find yourself seeking their approval before making any decisions. Someone with these traits is incredibly dangerous because they slowly mold your choices and feelings until you begin to rely emotionally on their validation. Over time, a manipulator can create an atmosphere where you feel responsible for their well-being and even for problems that aren't your fault. This leads to a dependency where the manipulator remains in control, eroding your confidence and shifting your perspective to align with theirs. Being close to a manipulator results in deep emotional exhaustion, as they make you constantly question your emotions and choices. The manipulator, almost instinctively, knows how to maneuver situations to their advantage, and over time, this dynamic can take a toll on your self-esteem and peace of mind. If you recognize these behaviors, start setting boundaries immediately. Otherwise, you risk losing control over your own life. Number 5. The ghost friend. Do you have that friend who shows up whenever things are great but mysteriously vanishes the moment you really need support? The kind who's always there for the parties, the celebrations, and the lighthearted times? This person loves to share the good moments, but when things get tough, it's as if they're wearing an emotional invisibility cloak. When you reach out to them in times of need, they seem to always have an excuse ready, or simply steer clear of any deep or meaningful interaction. The ghost friend is someone you might have shared laughter and great memories with, but they're rarely around when you're facing challenges. They avoid serious conversations and steer clear of situations that require genuine commitment or empathy. Having someone like this in your life can create a sense of emptiness, as though the friendship is just a shallow connection. Each time they're absent during difficult times, you start to see that the bond isn't as real as it once seemed, leading to feelings of disappointment and even loneliness. Over time, holding on to a ghost friend can weaken your trust in future friendships. This kind of person shows through their actions that their idea of friendship lacks depth or authenticity. Recognizing this behavior is crucial. It might be time to let this friendship go, creating space for people who will genuinely be by your side, both in your victories and in your struggles. Number 6. The infectious pessimist. This type of person is a real wet blanket, putting a damper on any enthusiasm. No matter how excited or full of ideas you are, they always find a way to bring up worst-case scenarios and point out everything that could go wrong. Even when you accomplish something significant, they manage to downplay it, as if nothing is ever quite good enough. Over time, their constant pessimism starts to seep into your own outlook. That once promising idea suddenly begins to feel unlikely, and your dreams start to lose their sparkle. It's almost as if this person has a knack for making you doubt yourself, transforming your enthusiasm into a feeling of insecurity. Eventually, this negativity directly affects your energy and your ability to persevere, making your journey feel heavier and more draining. Living with an infectious pessimist means having someone subtly sabotage your emotional and personal growth. Limiting exposure to this type of person is essential to safeguarding your motivation, optimism, and vision for the future. After all, achieving your goals and pursuing your dreams requires surrounding yourself with people who believe in you, not those who insist on casting doubt and spreading discouragement. Number 7. The emotional vampire. You know that person who seems to drain every ounce of your energy in every conversation? They're constantly tangled up in problems, and no matter how much you try to help, it never seems to be enough. This person has a unique ability to turn any situation into something negative, and rather than looking for solutions, they focus on complaining, playing the victim, and emphasizing how everything is going wrong. A simple chat with them can easily spiral into an endless, exhausting vent session. Living with an emotional vampire is exhausting, and if you've experienced it, you know exactly what I mean. After each interaction, you leave feeling drained, as if all your energy has been siphoned off without accomplishing anything constructive. Instead of seeking true support for growth or solutions to their issues, they prefer to keep you tangled in their cycle of negativity. Over time, the emotional burden of having this person around begins to weigh on your own well-being. This type of relationship creates an invisible drain on your energy, leaving you feeling worn out and even anxious before you meet them, bracing yourself for yet another taxing experience. Having an emotional vampire close by affects your mental and emotional health, robbing you of the energy needed to maintain a positive outlook. Remember, you are not responsible for carrying another person's emotional weight. Sometimes preserving your own energy and balance means stepping back, or at least learning not to get drawn in too deeply. Number 8. The Drama King. Know someone who turns every little thing into a major catastrophe? That person who blows small situations out of proportion, creates problems out of thin air, and seems to always be in the middle of some conflict? Even the simplest matters are given an air of urgency and crisis, generating a constant state of chaos. Being close to someone like this is like living on an emotional roller coaster, where every conversation or gathering might become the next episode in their ongoing drama series. The real issue with being around a drama king is that inevitably, you get pulled into their whirlwind of chaos. They need an audience for their problems, and by listening or engaging, you become part of their chaotic storyline. No matter how hard you try to help or calm things down, the drama king will always find a new reason to stoke the flames. For them, drama is a way to keep relationships alive and capture others' attention. This behavior has a profound effect on your well-being. Your peace of mind is replaced with anxiety and a constant feeling of walking on eggshells, trying to avoid the next dramatic scene. Being in a cycle like this is draining and destabilizing, making it clear that ultimately it's impossible to help someone who doesn't genuinely want to resolve their issues. To preserve your own peace, the best approach is to create some distance and decline any invitation to participate in their theater of conflicts. Number 9. The Hidden Envious. The hidden envious will never openly admit their jealousy, but their actions and subtle remarks give them away. They may come across as a friend, someone who seems genuinely interested in your life and achievements. But at critical moments, they'll drop subtle comments or veiled advice that instead of building you up, sow seeds of doubt and make you question your worth. They're the kind of person who says things like, "Wow, congratulations. But are you sure you can handle all that?" Or, "You really lucked out, huh?" Statements that subtly downplay your hard work and accomplishments. This veiled envy can slowly chip away at your self-esteem and your view of your own victories. The hidden envious can't stand seeing you shine, so they go out of their way to subtly undermine your confidence, trying to make you feel like your achievements aren't as meaningful as they are. They might even point out flaws or risks whenever you share a new success, implying that what you did wasn't really that special after all. Having a hidden envious in your life is especially dangerous because they hide behind a mask of friendship or even support, making it harder to recognize their true intentions. Over time, this creates a toxic environment where you might unknowingly start doubting your own potential. Once you realize that these comments reflect their own issues rather than any truth about you, it becomes much easier to distance yourself from someone who isn't genuinely cheering you on. Number 10. The wolf in sheep's clothing. And here we have the most dangerous type of person of all, the wolf in sheep's clothing. This individual may seem trustworthy, kind, and even caring, presenting themselves as someone genuinely invested in your well-being. At first glance, they radiate reliability, posing as a friend and easily earning your trust without raising suspicion. But behind this friendly facade lies a hidden agenda, one that only reveals itself when the timing is right. The wolf in sheep's clothing is highly strategic. They study your weaknesses, observe your strengths, and know precisely how to position themselves to take advantage of your trust. Before you realize it, you may find that they've twisted your words, exposed your secrets, or even sabotaged significant opportunities. This type operates in a calculated manner, making you believe they are an ally when, in reality, They are quietly gathering information to use against you. What makes dealing with a wolf in sheep's clothing so challenging is the subtlety with which they manipulate situations. It can take a long time to uncover their true intentions, and by the time you do, the damage is often already done. Stay alert. This person excels at maintaining a carefully crafted image that conceals their genuine character. Not everyone who appears friendly is truly on your side, and preserving your peace of mind means knowing the difference between those who genuinely deserve your trust and those who linger close, waiting for the chance to turn it against you. When we surround ourselves with people who don't truly add value, life feels heavier, obstacles seem to multiply, and our dreams feel more out of reach. What many don't realize is that these people aren't always obvious. They can be subtle, act friendly, and even appear to have our best interests at heart. But behind that facade, they're holding us back, limiting our growth, and distracting us from what we really want in life. Now that you know the 10 types of people to completely avoid, it will be easier to identify who genuinely deserves a place by your side. Being around those who drain your energy, discourage you, and undermine your confidence can make your journey much harder and more exhausting. Recognizing these types gives you the power to choose who you want around you and to protect your peace and well-being. Saying no to people who don't lift you up is an act of self-care and self-respect. Each time you choose to distance yourself from negative influences, you make room for genuine, positive relationships, those who cheer you on and celebrate your wins right alongside you. The most important part is that by making these choices, you're building an environment where your growth and happiness are the priority. Start valuing your time and peace by gradually removing toxic influences and focusing on relationships that truly matter. Now, share with us in the comments. Have you ever had to deal with any of these types? What was your experience? We'd love to hear about it. And if this content was helpful to you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Together, let's create a life with more lightness and meaning. Thank you for staying with us until the end. See you in the next video.